Today, I want to get into some of Jin's emotional words. We need to get into the new rank that Jin was assigned and possibly soldiers are jealous, and then we have to get into protesters meeting together. So hey Dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Grab your dumplings, hey Spilling Mug merch, and let's go. Change is hard for everyone. However, I think what people don't realize is that if you want everything to remain the same, then great, no change has to happen. But if things need to change for the better of everything else, I don't see how change is bad. It's uncomfortable, but it's necessary. For example, if you want to travel more, but all you're doing is staying at home, then you need to go and make that happen by doing something possibly uncomfortable and taking that first step out of the house. So what happened here today? And what is so uncomfortable that is happening? We all know about the SM and HYBE merge that is happening now. My personal opinion is that it's a good thing. This will bring a lot more cash into SM and allow SM to further grow and continue to grow since they allegedly have been struggling. HYBE has talked about their wishes to keep SM the way it is, and they are just trying to acquire the company, not change it. This has not been an easy change for anyone, as HYBE is fully aware SM employees are upset over the change and don't want it. They were even calling it a hostile takeover, and many employees of SM had been reported saying that they feel like they have lost their sense of purpose, since their sense of purpose was tied to SM doing well and taking over. And essentially with Asian culture, jobs and what you do ties heavily with your identity. So if that is being questioned, or you feel like your mission has been compromised or changed, I can see that making people mad. However, wouldn't your mission just change to support a new company? Because this new company, or HYBE, is what is keeping you employed. But anywho, there's been some protests going on outside the HYBE building. So much so that allegedly SM fans sent over a billboard truck right in front of HYBE, hoping that HYBE could see how upset everyone is. This could be a mixture of fans and staff colliding together for this protest, and I wouldn't be surprised if some staff did pitch in for it. These billboard trucks are not cheap by any means. The signs would say things like "take care of your own artist" or "don't touch SM" and things like that. There was even a sign that took HYBE's logo, which says "we believe in music," and crosses out music to write money. This makes no sense to me at all, because while I can understand a company not wanting another company to come and take over, when SM is on their last leg and needs funding, HYBE comes in with the money to save them. And also SM wouldn't function without money. Any company would not function without money. How dare a business like HYBE try to generate more business, as if that's not the whole purpose of any company. But also the alleged accusations of what the former SM founder Lee Soo-man did would also imply that SM only cares about money too. So it's quite interesting to me how these SM fans put the blame on HYBE for only caring about money. And I think most people who have seen the protest think it's a bit too much, and that this is definitely going overboard. You also have to understand that SM had to be agreeing to do this for this to even happen. So no one particular person is at fault. Another day, another drama llama. And speaking of llamas and alpacas, we have our sweet alpaca Jin and one of his recent messages to us that I really never got to talk about. So let me give some backstory here. In February, on Valentine's Day, a video that was likely filmed late last year was scheduled for release. This was Jin still with long hair, and he had a bunch of macaroons. He had specifically 7 and decided to write a message to ARMY, since he said that only ARMYs are watching the video. Jin promised that he will give an update every few months, and what he probably meant by that is a pre-recorded message, and the occasional message that he is allowed to give through the camp, or the occasional times he is allowed to hop onto social media to give us an update. And we will actually probably get an update very soon now too. Jin wanted to show us how much he loved ARMY, so he made sure that the first thing he wrote on these 7 macaroons was ARMY's name. So ARMYs are the delicious frosting and a big part of BTS, which are these 7 macaroons. He also wanted to add "love you lots" on there as well. This made ARMY really tear up, as they didn't expect this video to drop, and they didn't expect to even have a video from Jin until he leaves camp in 2024. So this was such a relief to ARMY, but ARMYs were sad that we may not get another message. However, Jin concluded the video to say that there will be another message in the following month. So we will definitely have March to look forward to get another video. I don't know who came up with this concept, but it's a very cute idea and a good way to check into the fandom. Jin was likely aware that ARMYs were going to be on the edge of their seats. I do wonder what the next message will be, and I can't wait to watch it. There's been a bit of an update recently with Jin and his enlistment. If you are not aware, anyone in Korea can check in on Jin, or anyone who is enlisted. So any idol that enlists, you have free range to check on their status, as well as if your son enlists, you can check as well. This app is managed by seemingly a person, and they try to update photos and things like that of each person that is in the military, so parents can look into their children and make sure they're okay. This app is likely not available for anyone outside of Korea, so we have no use for it. However, armies in Korea have been using it as a way to keep up with Jin, and people have noticed a bit of an update there with Jin recently. You can apparently see a status list screenshotted everywhere online, and this was very interesting to see. It shows Jin's enlistment date as well as his discharge date, and even a countdown for everyone to see. I can imagine this will be great for a family that is missing their child. It shows their progress and even their salary apparently. All very cool and such great things to do for anyone that has to go to the service. Might as well make it as easy as possible for everyone, especially if it's mandatory. On March 1st, we got news that Jin had moved up in ranking, so I believe he was a regular soldier and then became a leader of his group, and now he moved up to private first class ranking, which by the way is an actual career in the military. Like if Jin didn't want to make music anymore, he now has a full-on job in the military that he could pursue and make an actual living off of, as the regular soldiers get paid close to nothing. Private first class rank can make a livable living. When you are at this rank, you are also known as a master of your abilities, so you are considered one of the best, and you are considered one of the highest ranks. So this is not an easy feat here. Of course, this was not one of the first times Jin had achieved a pretty difficult feat, and one something that is to be admired. The military, as a fun little thing, holds a talent competition. I guess Jin opted for teaching his team to sing or dance or whatever, and honestly I wish there was a recording that we could watch. But the prize was going to be a small vacation. Jin ended up probably training his team very well, and his team actually won the vacation. Many people were saying that this was unfair because Jin has obviously gotten some of the most expensive and best training there is, and how can the other teams possibly compete with a literal world star performer? Like obviously when the judges look, they're going to be more starstruck by the K-pop idol performance than the ones that don't have an idol in it. So naturally Jin would win. People were saying that likely some of the military crew was jealous or upset that Jin won, given that the other soldiers could possibly use the vacation and might need one more because they need to help their family. But there's nothing you can do about that. Jin can't possibly be held responsible for using his talents during a talent show. I mean, that's the right thing to do. I mean, that's his right to do so. Since there were already rumors circulating that people would bully Jin for being a celebrity or for being an outsider, people were very cautious over this idea that maybe Jin is being bullied at the camp. However, in Korea, it's very different from what you'd expect. Kids don't get bullied for being smart, but get bullied for having low marks on their tests. They're bullied for not performing as well in school, and this is because Korean students and parents take great pride in their child doing very well, and some of that often rubs off on the kids. Being the presence of someone very successful like Jin would only cause admiration or feeling inspired that they need to work harder to achieve a similar success. Naturally, when it was announced that Jin will be at private first class, the concern of bullying or if he would be hurt would come back out again. The idea that a career path was given to someone who likely did not need it is very interesting. Jin's enlistment could have gone very silently and not make the news at all, as in he just did what he needed to do, go back into the camp and just fulfill his service without being the best or without being bad. However, Jin is naturally good at everything and is going to thrive. Other people can't actually bully or say that Jin doesn't deserve to be private first class rank, as he is literally 30, got injured and had surgery before, and yet still shined the brightest. So the fact that he worked so hard means that anyone could have worked and gotten just as far. No one had an unfair advantage here, and I think Jin is okay. But what do you think? How do you feel about the protesters outside HYBE's building? How do you feel about Jin's emotional macaroon message? And how do you feel about Jin's ranking, and do you think he was bullied for it? Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out my Patreon for more videos, link down below. Thanks for this lovely comment right here. Love you, bye.